Today, I want to take you through my whole business and show you exactly step by step how I'm doing it. And if you're on the other side and you're thinking, who the fuck is this guy? I'm Vlad. I've been a photographer for more than 12 years. And my mission right now is to help designers, creators, photographers just like you turn your skills into digital products and achieve a financial freedom. So let's dive into it. The first thing that is the point of the entry in my business is content. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, okay, everybody's having content as an entry in the business. It's content. All right. So what's happening here is I firstly post content about stuff that I sell. Currently, I'm selling a color grading manual. So in order for that manual to be sold, to have trust, to show that it's not fake, and so on, and to build trust with the audience, I can't make content about compositions in photography and then direct the people to buy a color grading manual, because these two things have nothing in common. So then my first entry point is content, and I'm usually doing something like, hey, I'm color grading like this. And I'm taking the viewer through a process of how I color grade and how I use colors, or how I use specific color schemes. Anything that is somehow related to color grading. And that's like a short. I use, for now, my best platform for selling stuff is Instagram. So on Instagram, I post short reels for like from 30 seconds till 1-2 minutes. And they usually get quite tens of thousands of views, even if they're 1 minute, 2 minutes long. So first thing, I post the content where I say something regarding or related to the product itself. The next thing is either in the video, either in the description, I have a CTA, which stands for call to action. So there are the reels that I'm doing where the CTA is either mid in the video, like this is something like I'm talking about color grading, and at some point inside the video, at the middle of the video or at the beginning of the video, I'm saying something like, by the way, if you want to learn more about color grading, comment this and I'll send you this. So that's a mid CTA, something that you have inside your content where you're saying things, you're saying the CTA so that you direct the user towards commenting, towards doing an action so that you send them something. The CTA can also be in the description. Description. Meaning, I post the video. Inside the video, I'm not doing any reference to absolutely anything. Like, I'm just saying how I color grade and I teach something. But in the description, I have something like comment this and I'll send you blah. That's a description CTA. These are the two ones that I use. Of course, you can have a CTA on screen, where you're basically not saying it, but you have somewhere while you're talking, you have somewhere a short description or something, comment this, and I'll send you that. So you have something on screen as well. Now, when people comment something, then I send them a DM. Or better said, when people comment, they receive a reply. I hate completely my handwriting. I hope you'll understand, but I'm also talking about it so it makes things easier. So what I'm doing, I'm replying to their comment by saying, hey, I sent you something on your inbox, or I sent you a message please check your inbox, or something like this. This happens automatically, and I'll guide you how I do the automation and everything in another video. For now, I'm just sending them a reply, and instantly after the reply was sent, I also send them a DM. Now, when they're receiving the DM, there's a huge process, or there is a process of building trust, getting them to understand what's happening, and not just slapping a link because they commented, I want this specific color grading manual, and I'm just like, yeah, this is the link, go off. I'm somehow taking them through some steps. And my first step is, firstly, in the DM, I say if it's a paid or free product. Why do I say that? Because it's nasty if you're having a paid product and you're sending them towards your page where you would like them to buy that product. It's nasty for them to have the expectation that this might be free. They reach your landing page and then they realize it's paid, and people will just leave. That's what it's called a false lead, or a non-qualified lead, or there's so many names for this, it doesn't even matter. To explain this as easier as I can, you're basically sending someone on your landing page with false expectations. You want to have all the expectations met, all the details somehow known already, so that when they reach the landing page, you give them more information and you convince them, and it gets them easier to buy that product. If you just send them somewhere and hope that things will go well, usually they're going sideways. So we don't want that. So what I'm saying in the DM, it's basically if the product is paid or free, as I said, and then I'm telling them what are they going to get. So this product is $30 or less than $30, and you'll receive a color grading guide with videos included. Do you still, or are you still interested in this? And I have two buttons where I say, yes, I'm interested. So the first button is, yes, I'm interested. The second button is, no, I want X. Why? The thing happens like this. In the body of the message, I'm trying, if they realize that the expectation that they had was that it's a free product, and they reach the DM and they see that the product costs something, so it's a paid product, they might just not press anything. You lose a lead. Maybe a cold lead that at some point can become a warm lead. Meaning, a cold lead is a person that doesn't quite know you, hasn't been engaging with your content too much. They don't have the trust to buy from you yet. So what do we do, or what do I do, is in the box where I'm sending the message, I'm saying clearly, hey, this is a paid product, it's $30. This is what you'll receive. If you think, or if you're not ready to invest in yourself, I also have a 7-day email course on how to build your digital products. If you want that, press the second button. So I'm giving them two options, never three, only two, because then it becomes too overwhelming and they might not choose anything. So the first button would be, yes, I'm interested in the color grading manual. The second one would be, no, I'm interested in the free course. If they press the first one, I'm interested, I'm sending them a link. So if they're sending this one, is the link to the product plus what I'm sending them also, but it's in a randomized series. I'm sending it because I want to build trust and I want to show that other people that bought it already enjoyed that specific product. So what I'm doing is in the automation tool that I'm using, I'm using a randomizer for channels, but I'm having a link that I send them plus a review of someone that already bought it. So it's like a review. Now, what does this review do is build trust and show that others that bought it really fucking loved it. So I'm using the randomizer because I want to send 4, 5, 6 different reviews. So if someone comments today, car, and they receive today testimonial from someone that I send them, and the same process happens, let's say, tomorrow, because they see another reel and they forgot that they already grabbed it or they already comment for that, and then they comment for another reel that I'm doing. When they're doing that, from my perspective, it's nasty to receive the same review again because maybe that review didn't convert them. But if I'm sending the second time they're commenting, I'm sending them the DM, but I'm sending them a different review, as in a different person that enjoyed it. There are more chances to convert them and to gain their trust rather than sending always the same thing. So I'm having a randomizer here. Randomizer that sends 4 reviews. Meaning there's a 25% chance that you'll receive one of the 4 reviews. And it's usually somehow it knows if it has been sent which one, so that it's always sending another one. If you already commented 4 times and you received all 4 of the reviews and you still haven't bought it, then that's something else. There's a problem somewhere else. So if they comment, yes, I'm interested, this is what they receive from me. The review is given in the information with the link is given as follows. I'm giving them the link and I'm saying, hey, there is on the page or inside the link, you'll find another 40 people, 60 people, depends how many reviews I have, that already bought it. Here's one of them. And I send it as an image afterwards, instantly after I send the link with the review is as an image. So that's what I'm doing here. If they say no, I'm not interested, well, then I take them through a series where I enroll them to the 7 days business, 7-day digital product free course. And I grab their email plus name. So it's email plus name, and that's kind of it for us. Now, there's something happening when I'm sending people the link, because sometimes things happen a bit differently. As in, after 24 hours, after they received the review, I'm taking them for another step. After 24 hours, or 23 hours to be more precise, because the automation is not allowing me to do 24 hours. So after 23 hours, I'm sending them another message. Now, why do I do that? The reason behind it is because there's some people that access it at work and they can't buy it in that specific moment, and then they decide, okay, I'll buy it later, and then they forget. I forget a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to put myself into a client's shoes and say, maybe I need a reminder. So after 23 hours, you might find them in the same position. It doesn't matter. But I found that 23 hours, it's enough time to let them think about it, to go through the details and everything. Maybe I will lower this at some point so that I try and match them or find them in a different time of the day where they might be more interested into buying, but that's a different story. So after 23 hours, what I'm doing is I'm sending them a message with, I think there were 2 buttons. What's happening here is I'm asking them, hey, if you haven't bought the product, can you tell me what is the reason behind it? So then I'm giving them 3 options. The first option is too expensive. And too expensive happens because sometimes people literally don't have the money to pay for $30 on a digital product. And that's fine. Then I have another one that says, let me think. I already bought it. I already bought it. So the people that say I already bought it, I don't remember right now what was the third one. I'll just erase it for now. So what happens here? If it's too expensive, I'm sending them a message saying, hey, I get it. I was in your shoes as well. If it's too expensive, I'm downselling them. Meaning, I have the same product in a more summarized version with half of the price. Meaning, if they say, hey, it's too expensive, I can't afford it, I have this one for you that is $50 or $14.99, and you can buy it. It's half of what you're receiving in the whole manual, but it's still something that you can grab and to see that it's useful. And if at some point you realize that, hey, I have the money and I would like to buy the whole manual, then inside the manual, I'm giving them a discount so they can apply it when they're buying the full version of it. And this works because you're downselling from something that they literally want, but they don't have the possibility to buy it. And you still offer them something. And I just introduced this recently since 2 weeks, and it's working like a charm for the people that are not buying the full version. And then that's it. This is where the automation ends here. If they're saying, I already bought it, I always want more testimonials, more reviews, more opinions on the product so that I know what the hell is happening and how can I improve it. The more reviews you have on the product, the more testimonials you have, the better proof you have for your audience, the more sales you'll get it. Good. So here I'm asking, when they're saying I already bought it, for me it's easy to send them a link to one of the tools that I'm using and say, hey, please leave a review here. But I saw that whenever I'm sending people a link and they're getting out of Instagram, it becomes a mess because some of them just click the link and then they're like, yeah, I don't have time right now because I don't know how much it will take and so on. So what I do is I just ask them, hey, do you mind if you leave me a couple of words here, 1-2 phrases maximum? How did the product help you? If it helped you in any way, and if you enjoyed it. And please be totally honest. What happens? People leave the review inside Instagram. So instead of grabbing them outside of the platform and trying to grab reviews from them outside of the platform, they're on Instagram in that specific moment for a reason. They're most likely scrolling. They receive this and they don't want to leave the app in order to give you a review. So you ask them to give it in Instagram, because in Instagram you can just write, hey, yeah, totally, I can. It was fucking amazing. The product helped me understand color grading, just as an example. So then you have a review and you grab everything on Instagram, and then you just grab the review from here and you post it in one of your review management systems that you have, and then you show it on the page. Now, from here, when people land on the page where I'm selling the product, after I'm sending them, this was the automation. After I'm sending the people either through the downscale, either on the downscale page where the product is cheaper, either on the initial page, a couple of things happen. Like, I'm sending all the traffic. I'm sending all the traffic to Shopify. I'm using Shopify as my go-to store because I spent once the time to configure it completely and to create everything and to make it look amazing from my perspective. And then I'm just using it for traffic. Shopify has one thing that I love about, and that's multiple currencies. Meaning, if you're from Australia and you're entering the shop, you'll see in Australian dollars. If you're from Europe, you'll see in euro. Same person is more convinced, or it's easier to be convinced to buy when they're seeing the product in their own native currency. Because then there are banks that are charging conversion currencies. There are banks that are having a percentage whatsoever when you're paying in a different currency. A lot of things happen or can happen when you're paying in a different currency. And sometimes just seeing that it's a different currency, you would need to think, okay, what would that mean in my own currency? And there's a process of thinking behind it. And you don't want the customer to think of all of that. You want to give them everything so that, hey, this is the actual price. This is what you'll pay. You don't need to convert anything or whatsoever. This is exactly what you'll pay. And this is what Shopify does very, very good. And that's why I love using it. This is one of the reasons. Now, I send them to the product page. When I'm having them from Instagram sent somewhere, I'm sending them to the product page. Now, the product page has all the informations in the world in order to convince them to buy it. Moreover, I'm having different buttons on the page so that it makes things easier for them to buy. Now, the way I'm trying to convince people is, so when people land on the product page, I have it like a story. I'm starting with a title, with a pain point where I'm trying to paint their point, saying, hey, you don't know how to color grade. Hey, are you still struggling with getting your colors right? And then I just walk them through a story, through, hey, this is how I can help you. This is what the product will help you. This is what the product will do. At some point, I show them, hey, you'll be receiving with the product the following. At some point, you have the box with the photos of the product. And then on the right side, you have text with like bonuses, what you'll be receiving, what you'll be having, payment options. We have the payment options, and at some point here, I have an upsell. The upsell is for the people that didn't say that it's expensive and they went on the page from the first time. Because they went on the page from the first time, I can try and upsell them to a better plan or something. And I have like color manual that is $30. And I have them upsold to preset pack plus masterclass. What does it mean here is that you can combine these two, my preset package with the masterclass inside the preset package, and also buy the color manual. And if you buy them together, you will receive 25% discount. And some people do this and buy it as a pack. Now, hint here, or more of an idea or trick or something. I tried selling presets separately and they were barely selling because the market is full of people that are selling presets. And maybe it works for some other people. For me, it didn't work. But for me, it worked way better to have this whole thing as a pack sold to people rather than selling it individually. Now, the preset pack separately is $39.99 or euros, I don't remember. And the color manual is like 30. So in total, it will be like 69. But if you give them a 25% discount, some people are more interested in this as a whole thing. Keep in mind here that you need to have, if you're doing something like this, you need to have these two, like these two, the preset and the color manual. They need to be two products that are complementing each other, that are helping each other. You can't sell potatoes here and then you're coming with, I don't know, fruits here and say, hey, they work, or iron or phones or whatsoever, and say, hey, if you buy 5 bananas and an iPhone, I'll give you a discount. They have nothing to do in common. So this doesn't work. You need to have something that works as two products that work with each other. Next thing is from here, people add it to the basket. Now, when people add it to the basket, I saw that the more steps you have, like if you have, let me explain it a bit differently. If you have here, I'll just erase this and I'll do it again. So you're sending people to the product page. From the product page, you have a button that they need to click in order to add to the basket. So it's basket. From the basket, they go to checkout page. From the checkout page, they input email plus address. From here, they need to click another button and to go payment options. And only here they buy. So you see here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th step is buy. The more steps you have here, the more people you lose along the way. So you don't want to do this. What you want to do is have, you send the traffic to the product page. From the product page, if they want and they're convinced to buy, they'll go and add it to basket. And Shopify allows me, when people click buy now, instead of redirecting them to the basket, I redirect them to the checkout page. When they're redirected to the checkout page is 3 pages in one. You have, at the top of the page, you have email, you have, this is like express checkout. So first thing at the top, you have express checkout, then you have email, then you have then you have address, and then you have credit card and I have buy. So this is how the checkout page looks. And what happens here basically is you have everything on one page, and it's easier to complete and click one button at the end and finish it, or go at the top on the express checkout and you have like PayPal, you have Shopify Pay, and some other methods that Apple Pay, Google Pay, that allow you to pay instantly, and then you just send it forwards and that's it. So this is the whole flow. Now, if someone reaches here in this specific page and they inputted their email and they haven't clicked buy, then after 6 hours, I'm sending an email. I'm sending an email saying, hey, you forgot something in the basket. Do you want to finish the checkout? And this is the first email. After another 6 hours, I send them another email plus one email. I send them another email when I'm giving them a 5% discount to finish what they have in the basket. And that's the whole flow that happens if they add something in the basket and they inputted their email. Now, I can't send any email before that to them. If they added something in the basket and they haven't inputted their email, I don't have anything to send them an email. So I can't do it. Now, because I'm interested so much in testimonials, before implementing it to have it on the Instagram as a testimonial, receiving the testimonial from the customer, I was doing it here. I was grabbing, after they were buying, I was grabbing their email and adding it to my software kit. And from there, after one day, I was sending them an email saying, hey, here's the link where you could leave a testimonial for the color grading manual. Now, I somehow am not doing this anymore because I'm doing it in Instagram and it's way easier. But what I'm doing is, after one day, I'm sending them an email if they would like to join my community, and I'm presenting them what is inside the community, what they get, how much valuable it is, what are the live, when are the live sessions happening, and everything like this. This is here, what I'm doing here is another upsell that it's happening. It's exactly as the one that you saw in the basket, where I'm doing the preset pack plus the core manual, just that I'm trying here to upsell them to the community. So I'm having 1 or 2 emails that I'm sending after they bought the whole thing, the product or the products, where I'm trying to upsell them into the community. And that's where the process ends. This is the whole process. Now, why did I run you through the whole process and why am I explaining it completely? Because everything that you see here is automated. Like from the point where someone comments, so from this point on, everything like this, everything is automated. So whatever I ran you through here, everything is automated. So that gives me a peace of mind, because the only entry in my business is this one. So my whole mission for a whole week, for a month, for a period of time is to create content. Create content. I said it before, I have a bad writing. So the only point of entry in my business is create content. this is where the money comes. This is how my business grows. This is the only thing that I need to focus on. Whenever the sales start to lower, I go back to the first step. And I know either I haven't created enough content, either the content that I created was not good enough to convert. So then I don't need to go through the whole business and try and understand what happens with the business, why is the business failing, why am I receiving less money than the previous month, and so on. Because I know I just need to focus on one part of the business, and that's the content creation process. So this also makes it easy to scale. So it's easy to scale. And I want to show you why am I saying this. If I'm having, let's make an example. It's easy to scale because if I'm creating one piece of content per day and I'm posting it, I'm having, let's say from this piece of content, there are 500 people that reach my Shopify page. From these 500 people, only 10 people buy. I'm having a conversion rate of, give me a second, let's do it again. If I'm selling 5 products and I send 500 people on my page, that's a conversion rate of 1. At a conversion rate of 1, if I'm sending, or not exactly at the conversion rate of 1, but if I'm sending more traffic, let's say I'm selling 10 and I'm doing 1,000, I'm selling 10 products, I'm still having a 1% conversion rate. I'm selling 10 products, but now I sent 1,000 people on the website. Now, if I start optimizing my page and I start converting at 2%, it means I'm sending the same amount of traffic, but I'm converting 20. So this is a 2% conversion rate. I'm sending the same amount of traffic, 1,000 people reaching there, but now 20 people bought. So then I know that somehow the focus is the better conversion rate you have, you can send the same amount of traffic, you convert more people to buy. So then what's happening next, why I'm saying it's easy to scale, because this could happen from one piece of content per day. Now, what if I'm posting 5 pieces of content per day, and every single piece of content is, let's say, driving 1,000 people on my website? That means I have 5,000 people that reach the website, and I have 50 sales, and that would be at a conversion rate of 1. So now I have more traffic to my website, and I sell more, so that it's easy to scale. I just need to focus on how much content I'm posting, and the more content that I'm posting, and the better the CTAs are, and the better the conversion rate is at the page, on the landing page, the more money I bring into the business. Now, after I sold 1,000 copies of this product, it means the product is now valid. I have the testimonials, I have the feedback from the people, I built it with the people, so that now I can start doing on it ads. Now, this is a whole other chapter that we'll be tackling in another video, but when you have 1,000 copies that you sold, you somehow have the trust that you can do some money online with digital products. You have the validation of the product, you have the trust in the product, you have proof that it helped people. So you have a lot of more heaviness on the product and more proof so that you can sell it to a cold audience. Because if you're selling everything that we discussed organic, it means these are warm audiences. This is a warm audience because they already watched your content several times, because they haven't bought it from the first time that you said, hey, buy it. So they watched your content several times. You went with them through different steps. You managed to get them to see this, to try, to trust you. So they already have a connection with you. It's easier to buy. Ads is sending ads. Means cold audience. Cold audience means that people are not quite knowing you. They haven't stayed with you for too long. They don't have any trust in you. They don't know you, why they should buy. There are a lot of questions that are happening inside their brains. So they're cold. And then when you're sending cold audience to your website, the conversion rate will be a lot lower anyhow from the beginning. So you want, if you're selling to organic people at 1%, maybe let's say half of it, or maybe less than half, would be the conversion rate for cold audience. But in this specific moment, you already have a proof. You sell organic, you sell the product organically, plus you also have ads so that you scale. The only thing, and as I said, we'll discuss in another video, the only thing here is that in ads, you will need to have a return on ad spent that is higher than 1. Because otherwise, whatever you pay on the ad, people buy, and at the end, hopefully you reach 0. If your ads are bad, you'll pay for ads and you won't have the returns from the product. But that's a whole nother video. We'll be discussing how ads are working and stuff. But this is the whole thing that I do in my business. So as I said, my only point of entry is the content on Instagram. The more content that I'm posting on Instagram, the more people I send to my website. If the conversion rate is working and it's improving and it works correctly and converts at 2, 3, 5, whatever percent, more people buy, and that's your recurring monthly income that you'll be having. And then from here, once you start selling with ads, if you want to go and build next product. So from this point on, this specific product already can sell by itself. You can sell it through reels, through carousels, through stories. You're also selling it organically. You have it ads as well. So then in this specific point, the product can just sell by itself while you're sleeping automatically. You just go on the next product, and from that point on, you try and create another product that your audience would love and would need, and then from that point on, you just continue to sell one product, and then you build it as before. You build a new product as before, and then you reach this next spot, this last step with the new product as well, and then you finish with this one, you slap ads on it, and you go to a next product, and you have a next product, and so on. If you just keep on doing this, if you want to redirect them from somewhere else, as I said, I'm redirecting them. I'm upselling them after selling a small digital product. I'm upselling them to the community. But this is how I ran my whole business. I'm trying my best to focus only on this, but there are different channels that you can add to send traffic to your website. But I think in the beginning, you don't need to think of all the channels ever possible. Focus on one channel, earn that, get used to it, gain the trust and the confidence that you can make money online from your skills, gain the confidence that you specifically can do it and it can be easy, and then try adding other channels like after you try this organically, you add ads, you add mailing, you add whatsoever. What I'm also doing is I'm sending 1 or 2 emails per week where I'm giving value to whom? To the people that in the beginning I sent them to the, not to buy the, where is it? Here. The people that said, no, I'm not interested, or I want the free digital product course whatsoever, the 7-day course. So to these people, I'm sending 1-2 email per week. I'm giving them value. And at the bottom of the email, I have some boxes like this, where I have the preset pack, the color grading manual with 2 buttons, 1 button for each, where I redirect them to my website. And this is basically another source of traffic. This is basically another traffic option that you can, traffic channel that you can send the people on your website so that they also buy. And because they're spending more time with you, like on the content that you're creating, they're spending time on the emails that you're sending them. They might be spending time on the YouTube video that you're doing, and it's a long form video. So when you're doing this, you have different channels and different ways to have people spend time with you. And after they spend time with you, it's easier to make them buy something because you earn their trust. They feel like they know you, and the whole process that happens behind. So this is the whole business that I'm running. This is how I'm running it. And only from one product so far, I did around 12,000 euros from, I think, March till August. So this is exactly how I ran it. And every single month so far, it started with like 500 euros in March, selling the product. And then I just built it on top. I raised the price, I added more value inside the product. I made it even better with the people that already bought it. And I asked them what do they need from the manual, what is the feedback, what they want to have more from it. And from that point on, I just went and created it and made it even better and better and better than just raise the price so that there's more money coming in. And last month, I think in July, it was 4,000 and a bit only from this specific product. And in August, I also added the upsell. So now basically it's more because you're not just selling the color grading manual, you're also giving them another option. But this is how I run my business. I hope I made it very clear and smooth and easy to understand. And as I said, I think when people start building a business, they tend to complicate things and they tend to think of a lot of things that they need to do and focus at the same time. When if you create a business that it's easy to follow and you have only one focus point, it's easier to manage, it's easier to handle, to scale, it's easier from all points of views because you're just having one single entry point and everything is automated, and then you're just focusing on that specific point. And if you have systems in place for creating content, then content itself is also easy, and you don't need to focus on two different many things, and it's not taking a lot of time, and you then make the whole business idea fun, easy to do, because I'm doing it while I'm also having a 9 to 5, and it's easy to maintain. And from there, it's also scalable because you know exactly what you need to do more, because the whole thing, as I just showed you, it shows you exactly you need to do more of this in order to receive more of that. So I think that's, I need to adjust this. So I think that's it. That shows you exactly what you need to do, how are things. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.